Hi guys, so I hope you're all having a really blessed day today. I just wanted to talk a little bit about waking up and really what that means. For me, when I first started to wake up, I literally felt like I was probably going crazy. I started to just have so many realizations about the way that life was, and I started to think, wow, I'm actually living on a planet and there's people living on it with me, and what are we all doing here together, just plodding on, and is this the whole meaning of life? And then I started to look into the religions, and I always would have considered myself a seeker of God or the Creator, and even when I was not woke, I still always wanted to find where I fitted in life and what the Creator was to me and everything else like that. And so I started just really researching so much, everything, the holy books, and I started to look into the Gospel of Thomas, and I started to look into every bit of everything. It was all just coming to me at once, so I just generally started researching, and I was coming to all these realizations of, I really don't think that the Creator put us here to be in fear, and I really do believe that the message that Christ wanted us to have was that we are truly free, and our Creator loves us just exactly the way we are, and he or she or both created us just exactly how we were meant to be. And all the experiences, the life experiences that we go through, they're all leading us to the day that we wake up and the day that we realise that we don't ever have to walk in fear anymore. And whilst I was researching all this stuff and I was trying to find myself, I then started coming across talks about light workers and the Galactic Federation of Light, and the power of meditation and prayer, and always being grateful for everything. And before, it was just an idea to me. I would always be saying that I was grateful for this and grateful for that and this and the other. But then I really started to look a lot deeper and realise that, when you look around at the system that we're in the world, we really are so lucky to have the things that we've got. And then it started to make me look even deeper and deeper into that and thinking, why have some got and some haven't? And, how is the world set up in such a way that we're chasing after this money that is literally just paper? And also what the royals were and what the governments are, and that we think we have choice. And a lot of the time, well, pretty much all of the time, we're just blindly going through life, chasing after the next phone, the next car, the next house, nights out, drinking, alcohol, never really consciously thinking about the animals on the planet, and that it's very cruel to be taking their bodies and breeding them in captivity and eating them, things like that. I started to realise that I didn't want to eat animals anymore, so I stopped that. And I realised that whatever you put into your body, it really does have an effect on the vibration of us, because we are vibrational beings. And so as I started to change things, the more I changed, the more I started to learn and make better choices. And I started to realise that a lot of the old negative friends and things, and just people that I knew, they started to just fall away. I started to get much better relationships with my family, because I realised that all the things, the pain of my past and my childhood, I realised that I couldn't blame my parents any longer for them things, because they were actually just doing the best they could with what they had at their state of consciousness and with the life that they were given. And a lot of it's taught from, you know, it goes through the generations, you know, alcoholism, drug addiction, domestic violence, all them things, they go down through generations, and it takes one person in a family to just realise that no, this isn't the way to go. I can change everything. And you know, they do say a leopard can never change its spots. Well, they definitely can. We're not leopards, and we can change. We can change every single thing, and we can truly become the best person that we can. And I just believe that with the guidance of the Creator, the guidance of the angels, I believe that we came here to do something. We came here to do a job, and we're all super important to the Creator, and that, you know, there's never anything to fear with our Heavenly Father and Mother, because we came from them. So we're really beautiful beings, and although life is stressful and sometimes it can be very confusing, especially with the energies of the moon and where the planets are and your birth sign and where the planets are in your chart at that time, there can be a lot of confusion as well. If the Schumann resonance spikes, we can get a lot of different energies, and we can get exhausted through these energies. We can feel anger and sadness and everything else, but the trick is that you never feel down on yourself for feeling any feelings of anger or negativity, because, you know, we're not perfect, and we are going through a lot of changes, and we're trying to also live a 3D life at the same time as trying to integrate all this knowledge and information and energy. And we need to eat well and sleep well and get rid of negative behaviors and patterns and people. We have such a task to do, and I believe that, you know, the Creator, the day that is meant for us to get heaven, we will. And I think nobody's going to be left behind. We're all just on our journey, and we're all at different stages of consciousness. We're all learning and growing, and we're all figuring things out. And I think we're all on the path to being really beautiful people. But I think it takes all of the soul contracts and the friends and the soulmates to come in and teach us things. And we go through different life lessons, and with each difficult lesson, what I've learned is that with each hard lesson that I have learned, I always grew a lot more from that. And now I can look back at all my pain and all my hard times, and I can be truly grateful for those hard times, because they are what made me who I am today. And now I can honestly say that when I'm exchanging energy with people, I always know my worth now. So I'm always very humble and kind and giving and generous, and I'm always open and honest about who I am. And now I can read people, so I can figure people out. It's an amazing thing when you realise that you can read a person's energy. And I think the more open and honest I am, and the more real I am, and the more I put myself out there, but I also now won't stand for any negative behaviour around myself. So I won't put myself around people that are drinking. I don't go to nightclubs and things like that. I don't go around people that gossip or anything like that. I just literally can't be around those type of people and those negative places. So I'm more likely to find me going for a walk with my kids, or just probably going for some food with my family, just doing light-hearted things more often than not, or just getting really creative. And it does take a lot of effort sometimes to push through, especially when you're feeling negative or you've got a bad life situation going on. And sometimes if you forget that we came here for a purpose, and we have a great reason to be here, and always just keep the faith in the Lord. And I think when you can start to walk in faith every day and remember that we have great purpose, and the purpose is to be our highest possible version of ourselves, and to be the kindest and the most humble and generous and true, and be trustworthy. I do think that really good things start to come your way, and I just think that you become so grateful for everything that you've got, because you realise that, you know, money isn't everything, because what really is money, the things that are important, is love and friendship and truth and family, and also a better vision for the future, and just a realisation that everything is happening for a reason. Don't ever lose sight of the fact that everything's happening for a reason. And on the days when you can feel a little bit crazy, it's always good to take some time for yourself if you can, just to remember that, just to remember the purpose that we've got, and don't ever lose sight of that, and just remember that we can get through each day. And sometimes when you're having a bad day, it can feel like you're having a bad life, but it is just a bad day sometimes. And just that there's so much information, and it runs so deep. The rabbit hole, as they say, goes so deep. So there's so many realizations and understandings, and I'm only touching the tip of the iceberg here. There is so much that you will learn, and you will be guided towards that from the Creator. That's naturally going to happen, because the Creator doesn't leave anyone behind, and the Creator loves his children and her children. So stay blessed, everybody, and I will be doing another update soon. I hope that this just gives someone a little bit of something, just even if it's just that you can say, I feel like that some days, and just to know that we all have very stressful days sometimes where we can feel really fed up and down, and what's it all for? Just keep going, take relaxing baths and go for walks, watch your favourite movie. We will get there. All of us together. One day, we will. Peace.